right?
Wrong. He won in 1936 for The Story of Louis Pasteur.
I'll bet he doesn't know the year Joan Crawford won an Oscar.
1945, for a role in a movie called Mildred Pierce.
Oh, that's beautiful, baby. Beautiful. I mean, he's better than the Baron. He's got talent.
How come you never won $1 million on those quiz shows?
Ah, look at this face. Isn't that the sweetest, most honest thing you ever saw in your life? Really, isn't it?
Take it easy, Sheriff. He's in pain.
Oh, it hardly hurts at all, Mr. Wetzel.
Mr. Wetzel? Who's he? Lou. Baby, you're one of ours.
Oh, thanks, Gigi.
Cute.
Oh, yeah. Get this. Well, I mean, even the dames go for this guy. Right, Ginger, baby?
Right. That mean mess. That dog Carl. He hurts your sweet body.
Sick him, Ginger, baby.
Oh, he is something with the women. They can't resist him. Knows the movies. Hasn't
Edie. This is my wife. Edith. Mrs. Edith Burlitz.
How do you do? Oh, Sidney. Are you all right?
Oh, sure, sweetheart. It's just a flesh wound.
Oh, I was so worried about you. That reporter said there was blood. And...
Well, the Baron told you, didn't he? It was nothing, Mrs. Berlitz. He could get out of bed right now. I'm Lou. Jerry Grant?
Hi.
And the sheriff himself, Don Colley.
Yeah. That is for marrying one of the sweetest, one of the warmest guys in the world. You're a very lucky woman, Mrs. Berlitz.
Thank you very much.
This young lady is Miss Ginger McLeavy. She's a very good friend of Lou's.
Thanks a lot.
How do you do? How are you?
How is she? How do you think she is, you dope? She's thirsty. Here, there's scotch in this, but you can have anything you want.
Oh, I don't drink usually. And since when did you become such a drinker?
Oh, strength. A man's been shot. He needs his strength.
Did you hear that line?
I brought you your shaving stuff.
Oh, thanks, honey.
And flowers, too.
I see you have some already.
Yes, but, I mean, these are flowers from a wife. This is a very tender, very special thing, Mrs. Berlitz. Put these in the vase. All right, now, you guys, let's get out and leave the lovebirds alone, huh? Remember, baby, we're right outside. Huh?
Oh, I was so upset.
What for? A flesh wound?
I wanted to kiss you when I came in. I was embarrassed in front of strangers.
Oh, honey, they're not strangers.
Oh, sweetheart, look. To people like you and me, Don Colley, and those other characters, they're strictly strangers. I mean, after all, what kind of business is that for a strange fellow to come up to me like that, kiss me?
Nothing, sweetheart. Show business.
You like that? Him kissing me on the lips like that?
Oh, Edie, for crying out loud. I mean, that's all you got to talk about.
All right. What should I talk about? The young lady, if you'll pardon the expression?
Edie, listen. Now, listen very carefully. Now, I told you on the phone they were going to take care of me for this. Are you ready for the figure?
Look, don't move around so much, huh? You might start bleeding again.
Honey, I can afford to bleed. I mean, I can buy blood all I want. Honey, $10,000. You hear, Edie? 1, 0, comma, 0, 0, 0. Honey, that's an awful lot of tips.
They're just talking.
They're not just talking. To a man like Don Colley with millions at stake, what's $10,000? I mean, honey, if I were to open my mouth, if I were to bring charges...
Don't you talk like that. What are you, after all, a blackmailer or something?
What am I? Well, never mind that. But I'll tell you what I ain't. And don't you correct my English. Edie, I ain't a waiter anymore. The thing you hate. No more, Mrs. Berlitz. You're not the wife of a waiter.
No, Sidney. And what am I the wife of?
An associate of Don Colley Enterprises. You are the wife of a man in show business. And not just any cockamamie show business, but Don Colley, the sheriff, the big boy.
He promised you that?
He promised.
Sidney, look at me.
I'm looking.
Look at me. You think I don't know you, huh? The world's worst liar. He didn't promise you anything like that, not anything.
But they will, honey. I mean, look, now, I've been hinting to the Baron and Lou to get me a job. And I could tell from the way they answered. When the time is right, they'll put it to Don, and I'll get a job. Honey, I got a feeling for show business. I got a gift for it. I mean, and not just the year somebody won the Oscar, but a feeling. They could tell. They tested me. They could tell.
But don't you see, they were just making fun of you.
So they were making fun of me. The big thing is, they like me. I mean, honey, now, a man like Don Collie, I mean, he likes somebody. Well, I mean, he could do anything for them. I mean, he could move mountains. I mean, what's it to him to make me, an assistant director or, an assistant producer? I mean, let's face it, honey, if I want to get difficult.
Don't even talk that way. I mean, who are you to threaten big people like that?
Who am I? Your husband, Mr. Sidney Berlitz, the former waiter.
I've been stalling them the best I can, Baron, but I can't hold them off forever. We will consider it a favor if you do all you can, Daniel. Baron, will you give me a little something to work with? Such as? Alexander's got nothing right now. A tip, a hunch. Colley's motion picture distributor spends a couple of $100,000 a year in advertising in the Bulletin. You tell your space buyer to get in touch with our business department. Say something about unfair hounding of Don by the Bulletin.
Will it kill the story?
It might stop him from getting the story. You see, if you put pressure on the business department, they will put pressure on Granger. I'd say there's a very good chance that he'll be intelligent and pull Alexander off the story.
Things are breaking. I'm getting somewhere in this Collie thing.
Well, that's fine. Now that we have the crime of the century solved, do you suppose we could engage your attention with some smaller matters, also of news interest?
But I know where he is. I followed the Baron and he went to a private hospital on 69th Street. So I sent some flowers up there to Sidney Berlitz and asked for a return receipt, and here it is. Signed by Berlitz, the guy Collie shot.
So now you're an autograph collector. Did you by any chance go up to see him?
No?
Did you examine the wound, get a full confession from Collie? Did you by any chance get a full statement from the rest of the witnesses?
Mark, I didn't have time.
Time? You have had 3 days, 3 whole days, Nick. And what have you come up with so far? A signed receipt for some crummy flowers. How do you even know that that's Berlitz's handwriting?
Hey, what is this? What do you saw at me for?
Nick, I have just spent 30 lousy minutes with the business department talking to them.
About what?
About $388,000 worth of movie advertising, which is regularly contracted for in this newspaper.
Don Collie's motion picture company?
Oh, not only his company, but his distributor, who advertises for about 30 other independents. And all of that lovely money is going right out the window unless you stop banging away at Don Collie's private life.
So I'm supposed to stop?
As of yesterday.
Not me, Mark. I'll go find another paper someplace, a paper that won't roll over and play dead because the advertising manager has a conniption fit. And don't worry, I won't waste any more of the Bulletin's time or money. In fact, I won't even ruin a piece of the Bulletin's paper to type my resignation.
Type your resignation. In fact, type it in duplicate. Just don't date it yet.
What are you talking about?
I've already told them upstairs I don't intend to take you off this story.
Oh?
00, kiddo. One for you, one for me.
Don't worry, Mark. I'll get us both off the limb. But in case I don't, when would you say I'd have to date my resignation?
I would say that our resignation should be dated not later than 3 days from now. I couldn't possibly hold him off any longer than that.
You got a deal.
I don't know where you could possibly have received such information, Mr. Alexander.
I received it, Doctor, from an eyewitness.
Oh, really? Well, then perhaps you better have this informant of yours come in and have us test his eyes.
Well, that's very fine. Very good, Doctor. Come on off it. Doctor, since when do you test for anything around here except acute alcoholism? Or maybe in this case, someone suffering from loss of blood?
Well, I have some calls to make, and at least one of them involves an emergency, but I will tell you that this hospital has taken in no one with a gunshot wound within the past week or in the past month.
And you don't know Don Collie?
Well, of course I do. He's been here several times for rest. You know, strictly speaking, we're not a hospital.
Well, that's pretty well known.
We're a nursing home.
Well, did Sidney Berlitz receive any nursing attention here this past week?
No, there's been no such patient here.
No. Doctor, will you take a look at this? Flowers were delivered here yesterday, and they were signed for by Mr. Sidney Berlitz.
Well, anyone might have signed that slip of paper thinking that Mr. What's-His-Name was a patient here.
Well, do you mind if I take a look around to see if Mr. What's-His-Name just happens to be here?
Well, I most certainly do. My patients require and get privacy. We're not a tax-supported or tax-aided institution, and we're just not open to the general public. Oh, if you'll excuse me, I have that emergency call to make.
Yes, Doctor. I understand. No. I assure you he won't bother you any further. Yes, of course. Thank you for calling. I will. Goodbye.
That's where we're going to get those creeps out my back, man.
Don't worry. The pressure is on the paper.
The pressure is on me. I'm sick of this walking fan magazine. Now, when do I get to stop holding his hand, huh?
We'll shake him in a little while. Play it cool, kid. Play it cool.
Why don't you go over to the club, Don? You may want to rehearse. You do open tonight, you know.
You listen to me, you lousy kraut. You don't tell me when to rehearse. You just stay funny and keep the books. Come on, Lou, let's get out of here.
Achtung! Ja, mein Herr.
Baron, get the creeps off me, will you? The reporter, the waiter.
Ja, mein Herr.
Look, I'm on in about 15 minutes. If you guys want to booze it up, you better get out there, because I don't want any liquor lapping while I'm on, huh?
Good luck, Sheriff.
Right then.
Good luck, babe.
Yeah. Well, come on. Don't you ever blotch your lipstick?
Good luck, Sheriff.
Yeah.
Sidney, just 1 minute. Can we talk for a second?
Sure, Baron.
Sidney, we enjoyed having you around with us. But the next couple of weeks while Don's appearing here will be pretty crowded. 2 shows a night at the club. He starts recording sessions tomorrow, and he's taping his TV show. So we're all going to be very busy.
Well, it sounds marvelous, Baron.
Well, anyway, it's hectic. So here is a little goodbye present for you.
Goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye. Like, bye-bye.
Don, please. You recall, my boy, the $10,000 we spoke of?
Yeah, sure, I recall. It's very kind of you.
Well, anyway, here it is. The whole 10,000.
Thanks.
You better check it, make sure it's right.
What, about you guys? Some case.
The show is going to start soon, Sidney. So you better go.
Well, no.
What do you mean, well, no?
Well, Sheriff, you see, it's like this.
This is Mr. Colley to you.
It's beautiful. Mr. Colley. Well, Mr. Colley, I have a little bit more to say. I want to apply for something. A job.
Oh, what?
A job. Let's face it, I want to stay with the posse.
What is this, some kind of a shakedown?
Take it easy, Don.
What do you mean, take it easy? 10 grand isn't enough for this punk? I thought you made a deal with him, huh?
Look, Don, Sidney is still being very considerate, very generous, if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. He got nicked. I know what you mean, believe me.
Look, Don, he's being discreet. Do you hear me? A waiter.
We need a waiter, don't we?